It's Wednesday, just past the hour of 1. The joy of coding will delight you and make it fun. Streaming for years now, yeah, it's been 10. We were all so much younger, but that was then. So glad to have you with me as I debug and code. Thanks for joining me on this 400th episode. The joy of coding. Hello, and welcome to episode 400 of The Joy of Coding. My name is Mike Conley. It's so good to have you here. It's the 400th episode. I just realized there's like a spider web on the camera. Hold on, let me just get that out of your face there. Hey, it's the 400th episode. Happy 400th episode. Woo, confetti. If you're watching this on the old Joy of Coding website, if you click on that, the number 400, you can launch those fireworks again, those confetti poppers that I programmed into the page in a rush this morning. So it's pretty sloppy, but go for it. Hey, so good to have you here. I'm going to start by sharing my screen. What's going on? Well, first of all, special thanks to all the people who reached out with ideas on what we could do for the 400th episode. I weighed a lot of options. We've actually been in the midst of one for the past couple of episodes on what to do, which is to work on a Rust component. I've been learning a lot about that. But also, someone sent in a song. I want to thank the people who sent in the song lyrics. I had to mess around with them a little bit, but I thank you for the song submission. Thank you for the idea for singing the intro, which I did. That's if you've ever wanted to know, there's a band in Canada called Sloan, and I've basically ripped off the hook of a song called She Says What She Means by Sloan for the Joy of Coding theme song. That's what I asked my friend Barn to do when he put that together. All right, well, thanks for being here. Let's get going. It's time to hack on some stuff, but I may take some breaks here and there to just pick up my guitar. Maybe if we're waiting on something, I might pick up my guitar and sing something. And who knows, we might have other things that occur during this stream celebration wise. But a reminder, no plan survives breakfast. I don't know how this stream's gonna go. It might go completely sideways. We don't know. We might get stuck. might get pulled into an emergency. I realized whenever a number of things have already kind of glitched out this morning, but don't worry about it. We're just gonna deal with it as it comes. Also, the agenda that we're looking at for the 400th episode, but for every episode, is available to you. There's going to be a link to it. It's going to be in a different place depending on where you're watching the stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out the video description for a link. If you're watching this on Air Mozilla, check out the details section. If you're watching this on Twitch, check out the channel details. All right, so we have made it to the 400th episode. We heard the song. Let us get right into it with our filter adult component. We had gotten pretty far last week where, Craig asked how long have I been playing guitar. I mean, I think I was first put into guitar lessons by my parents when I was like 5 or 6. But I think I only started to take it seriously whenever I was in like grade 5. Grade 6, grade 7, and when I became sort of a teenager, and then like in high school, we formed a band, and so I got really into it then. So I've been seriously playing guitar. How old am I? Probably for about 30 years, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less. I don't know, but I think I've plateaued. My skills are more or less plateaued, but I still have fun with it. Okay, so what we have here is we've got what we had written was a script to output the adult set static set of hashes, these MD5 bytes. And one of the things I've realized is that we need to, first of all, I'd like to enclose this in a comment, I think better. There's like a new line on top that should go away. And the second, this needs to be public if it's going to be imported anywhere. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to modify our filter adult import site list script to what is convention here? Maybe I should figure out what's convention. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Okay, so maybe that is convention. Okay, so we'll not worry about the comment. The new line is a pain, so what I'll do is I'll do that. That'll get rid of the new line at the top, which is kind of unfortunate. The alternative is I could like trim, but then I'd lose the new line. Well, actually, maybe I'll do that. I'll push format for each string, output, join. I add a new line at the end. You know what? No, I'll just get rid of the new line like that at the top. That's probably the easiest. The next thing I'm going to do is I have to make sure that I say pub static adult set so that it can be imported from other modules. So let's now rebuild, and we'll run our script. Run import site list. Is that known? All right, that knows what I'm talking about. And then I've got 2 warnings in there: cargo, fix, bin, import site list. Let's apply the 2 suggestions. We'll allow dirty 2 L's. So it's going to fix with some cargo fixes. So we've made some fixes there, got rid of some stuff. All right, we'll go ahead and JJ commit. Actually, what I'll do is I'll go to JJ squash. Right. That's not exactly what I wanted. I wanted squash to squash. So I need to squash T into L. I need to figure out how to do that. JJ squash help. Squash from into revision into its parent. Okay. So JJ log, I'm going to JJ squash RT. There. And now I should have just R. Very good. Very good. Okay. So we are going to now rerun import site list, and we're going to pass it from filter adult MJS. I'll pass it projects Firefox, which is my new checkout. And then where is it? Browser extensions. No, we put it under modules. Modules filter adult. And unexpected argument. Oh, do I need to do it this way? Unexpected argument. I think we ran into this last time, where I had to yeah, that's what I needed to do. Okay, so now we've got our new export here, and I'm going to write that to source adult set.rs. Done. Okay. So now that that's done, I am going to. What am I going to do? Code source lib.rs. We're going to bring it in. So let's also get our. I guess we should put licenses on top of everything. So import, and then lib.rs. And what we need to do is we need to use adult set. Can I just do that? Adult set. Use adult set, and then what is the name of the thing? Adult set. And then what I'll do is I'm going to have this function that I'll just call list, and it will take no arguments, no return value, but I'm going to have it print out the list of items just for funsies. So for how do I do a for loop again? For string in hash map for bytes in adult set, and then I just want to print line and then formatting. All right, I guess I can close that. Format like that. So again, I am a novice when it comes to Rust, so this is very very silly. but I'm going to just call function list. We'll say cargo test. No, doesn't know what I'm talking about. Remove parentheses around the for loop. That's apparently we don't do that. Unresolved import. Use of undeclared crate or module. Adult set. Not found in the scope. 4 bytes. So it doesn't know what I mean. Use adult set. So when I create a module, what do I need to do? Like, do I need to say that it's a module? Do I have to say that I'm a module? Creating a Rust module. Impl blocks, other modules. Come on. My module. I just want to import from other stuff. Is that a module name my mod? That must be what it's talking about. Mod adult set. Will this work? And then I'll have to update the import script if this is true. Mod adult set pub static. So let's see what it thinks of this now. Does it know what I'm talking about? Undeclared crate or module. So how do I declare a crate? Declare a module, Rust. How do I? Okay, modules. Declaring modules. I must declare the module. So maybe over here I need to say mod adult set. Private module. Module adult set is private. Did I need this to be pub mod? Re-imported, so don't do that. Consider not a value. Maybe it's not important that I do this part anymore. Like, because if I just have the file, it seems like maybe I get that part for free. You create, use adult set. There you go. There you go. Now I didn't print anything though. Adult test. It works. If I assert false, will that print stuff out? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. So we've got it. We've got our thing. Mod adult set. Use adult set. And we have our bytes. That's great. So now what I want to do is I want to expose just the right parts of filter adult sys.mjs. Now I've seen some examples on how to do this, where we're gonna take. We had a plan. Where was the plan? It was here. It's like is adult URL, add domain to list for testing. We don't actually need this. Sorry, we don't need this and we don't need this because the way I've noticed how this is done in Rust components, if you look at this example component, there's like a publicly exposed structure or a publicly exposed component, and then there's like the inner component, and we can write tests for the inner stuff to access like the like testing functions, but then the outer one is what would be called by our like client or our embedders. And so I like that pattern. I think I'm going to use that pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by creating a struct called filter adult inner. And I guess it will maintain the hash set. Hash set. Rust hash set. So use standard collections hash set, and it will have a hash set. So hashes, and that is a hash set. Then we will implement it. And it will take as its, for its constructor, we're going to return. Now, when I construct a hash set, what will it accept in its constructor? Can I construct it with a list like this? Or do I have to like go through and like create an empty hash set with capacity, creates an empty hash set with at least the specified capacity? That seems like more what we should do to avoid unnecessary allocations. Extract if, retain, clear with hasher. Can I like Rust hash set construct from list, or construct from array, from a vector, from, so what they do here is they're going to take an array and produce a hash set from iter. From iter is what we want. Right, okay. From iter creates a value from an iterator. Okay. So what we can do is let's create one with a capacity that we know of. New with capacity. So hashes, hash set new, or hash set with capacity, and then we'll use adult set dot length. Is that a vector, Rust vector size? Look at the size. Len dot len. From iter. Now, is from iter, am I like, impl from iterator hash set? That's for vector, and then hash set from converts. Maybe I don't need to create the capacity first. Maybe I can just say, if this is a static, this might be static, it looks like. So maybe I can just do from adult set. Does it like that? So I'm going to say, how do I construct a new one of these? Let inner equal filter adult inner new. Okay, doesn't like it. Hash set. Oh, because result. Okay, well. Expect at least one generic argument. Hash set of bytes. Of an array of bytes. Hash set hash set with byte, a byte vector Rust. Build a hash set from a vector. Right. Hash set v u8. That's not quite it, is it? Hash set u8. No, that's not quite right. Because it's like a vector of vectors. So it's more like hash set with vector. Populate a vector of hash set from vectors to hash sets. So not quite. It's like I want these to be vectors. Hash set. So maybe I just have to say what the adult set is. It's a U1816. Like, is that sufficient? Hash set. Okay. Now it wants to know about result. And this I remember seeing from the example. Result. And what happens is this thing has its own notion of a result. It uses standard result. So I'm just going to extract this out and put this here for now. Create an error.rs for this. Error not found in scope. Error. What? Use error. How does it know what error is? Oh. Pub enum error. I see. Okay, well, we'll put one of these in here. Pub enum error and oh boy. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new error.rs, and I'm going to take some of this. I'm just going to wholesale copy it over, but I'm just going to get rid of the stuff I don't need. Because a lot of this gunk is for the Unify bridging to the desktop, the embedders. And then there's like conventions and stuff. Public error class. So API error, other, I'm gonna say other error. And it's really the only one I can think of right now. And then internal error class. I am going to need this error, which I think I have to put into the cargo. This error. So I'm going to put into our cargo. And I need to define some errors. Failed to construct. Well, you know, that if you fail to construct, that's like pretty fatal. And in this particular case, here I'm gonna say mod error. I'm also gonna say that that part, do I have that in here? Yeah. Get import other reasons. We'll convert API error other. We will not report error. Okay. I don't know if this will compile. Okay, it doesn't know what I'm talking about. Use of undeclared creator module error support. Is that something I also need to add? Error support, yes. Incredible. Okay, so it doesn't know what unify is, so I need to bring that in as well. Unify. STU. Okay, hold on. A lot of warnings here, a lot of errors. What are you talking about? Oh, because I've got like a bunch of leftover stuff that I don't need in here, like this stuff. I'm gonna get rid of it. Oh. Okay, now this is a lot more reasonable. Not found in the crate root unify error. Did I have to do something different in my error? Did I have to say something to unify? Make sure to derive unify error. Not found in the crate root. Unify error. Is there something about unify? Huh. Why doesn't it like that? Cannot find tag unify tag in the crate root. This error originates in the derive macro unify error in nightly builds run with backtrace for more info. I expect 2 generic arguments. So hold on. This is another thing we need. Use error. I guess pub use error. Result. Okay. So really it's just this. It doesn't know what unified : error is, which is a problem. Did I not save this? I did. Cargo build unify. Do I have to do something else when I do a unify? Cargo. Oh, one of the things that I think you also have to do is you have to set up scaffolding. I wonder if that's it. Set up scaffolding. We'll call ourselves filter adult. That's more like it. All right. Warren, it's never constructed. It's never used. It should have an uppercase name because it's static. Okay, well we can do that. Import site list. We'll make it so that this will always be adult set. Let's rerun our no adult set in lib. Here, let's just comment that out for now. Go. Now we put all this back. It's a little bit of a bootstrapping problem there. Not value from adult set. So now I have to say adult set. Use adult set. Adult set. There we go. There we go. So we can construct this thing. Great. And let's see. What do we want our tests to do? When they write tests, how do they do it? Test, 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 test. Test, 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 tests. I mean, we had one for import site list. Where do they put their comments? I see. All right, well, we're going to test a couple things. We want to test okay, what does filter adult allow? Filter adult. Filters will take an array of links and we'll filter them. That I think we can still do in our JS or our module. Maybe. Supply a thing that has URLs. Does Unify allow me Unify built-in types? Does it allow me to pass in? Doesn't allow me to pass in an object. So we might have to do this part in the script. Filter. Or can we describe something with Unify? Describe an object structure. Use your own types. Yeah. Structs and dictionaries. Yeah, that's what I want. So a link would have a structure of having a URL property. Okay, and then we would construct. We would get the base domain. Do we have something like that in Rust? Rust get base domain. That's for DNS. URL, Rust URL base domain. The origin. Is that the same thing? I don't think it is. Base domain versus origin. What is base domain? Umbrella under which an entire site resides. Ugh, I need to see like examples. Base domain versus origin. I think it's this. So origin, I think it includes the scheme, and I just want like the host name. Is the host name base domain same as host name? All right, what get base domain? What does that do? Get the base domain. So, for example, for BBC Co UK, this would be BBC Co UK. Okay. That seems very Mozilla specific. Because I don't think the term base domain is something that is like, I think it's like invented at Mozilla. So we're going to continue doing this part, and we're just going to implement has and is, and then add domain to list has is adult URL. So we just need has, really. Pub function has, and it takes we won't make the consumer do the MD5 hashing. We'll do it ourselves. It's just going to take a string. It'll take a string. So do you do like a string slice? URL to check. And it returns a Boolean. And what we're going to do is we're going to convert the string string, we're going to just MD5 hash it, basically. Rust MD5 hash. And I think then www FTP and whatnot is base domain. Maybe. I'm looking at this definition. I just don't want the behavior to change for the callers. If a host URI is an IP address, an alias such as localhost, an ETLD such as co.uk, or an empty string base domain will be the exact host. Otherwise, we'll strip off like what? How does it implement it? Get innermost URI host and then get base domain internal. Oh boy. Finds a base domain for a host. So like I don't want to mess around with this. This is very specific. Someone else wrote this. I'm not going to mess with it. Okay? I just want to do our hash lookup. I got a sneaking suspicion about something. Oh, balloons! Here, we'll do that again. Hold on, because in case you missed it, watch your screens. Yeah, I just got a balloon drop by the the tea delivery maven and balloon dropper. Just delivered my tea for 400th episode. Here's more balloons. Thank you very much, M. Woo! Here, I'm gonna play a little ditty for that. Why not? Getting a little distracted. 400th episode. Here, check this out. Here, I'll clean this up a little. There you go. Thank you for the balloon drop. Well, I think she left. Yeah, she left long ago. All right. All right. Well, let's drink some of this tea. She's got her own work to do. She couldn't stick around to hear my cool song. That's okay. She's heard that song before. Right. So converting a string to an MD5 hash in Rust. Easy peasy. Yeah, you compute it. You just compute it. Let's see here. So I think I remember checking about this, but get grep MD5. Has anyone else brought in MD5? Yes, Relevancy does. Digest and MD5. Let's see. Given a URL, extract the part of it that we want to use to identify it. Okay, and what do they do? Hasher, update, hasher finalize result into. What is the difference between that and digest? A digest. Versus, so a digest you can compute. Which one gives us back bytes? This one, you get back a digest, and a digest how do I get its bytes? Digest. Formats. Feeds. Hasher. From. Dereferences the value. The resulting type after dereferencing is a U1816. That's what I want to deref. Okay. This is starting to become clearer. So, what we'll do is we're going to bring in use MD5. Again, you don't want to use this stuff. I think we have to, this one needs to be public because of the unified business. You don't want to use MD5 for anything super critical. Certainly not for anything that's supposed to be secure. But we're just using it for hashing. Just for hashing. And it's relatively fast. Which version of MD5? That one. And it's got the dash in there, just to make things even more confusing. QR. Alright, so let's see. Filter adult. Cargo. Test. Okay. Doesn't know what I mean. Unused imports. Mismatched types. Expected a bool. Found empty. Okay, so that's because this needs to true. Oh. That'll now compile. This will assert false. I'm going to say test presence. So internally, we also have to add the ability add domain. I'm going to say base domain to check. Base domain stir. And that's going to return nothing really, I don't think. We'll say self.hashes. We're going to add hash set. Which one's hash set? Hash set. How do you add? Take, try, union, iter, len, new, remove, insert. Hashes, insert, and then we need to MD5 hash our bytes. That bytes we need to MD5 hash. So what does relevancy do? Code, where was it? Relevancy cargo, relevancy source URL hash. Relevancy source URL hash. So what it was doing was creating a hasher, adding a hash source. A hash source is that thing that turns into URL hash source. We'll map each hash source. We finalize, turn the result into something. Okay. Okay, so we will create a hasher, and then we'll update it with our base domain, and then let bytes equal hasher.finalize.into, and then we'll insert our bytes. Will that compile? No. Self is the data refers to cannot be borrowed. Oh, right. This is mutable. Mutable. We're mutating ourselves when we do this. Okay. So now I can do inner.addDomain test.com. Well, that does assert true. Will that pass? Add domain, method not found. Inner. Oh. Expect could construct. Cannot borrow as mutable. Right, let mute inner. Okay, add domain. Now I will check let test domain equal test.com. What is filter adult? A test filter adult. What does it use? I presume there's a test filter adult. Yeah. Someadultsite.com. Incredible. Let's use that. Assert. So before we'll assert that inner.has will assert not should not yet have the test site, and then we add the domain assert inner.has test adult site URL should have the test site. And I need a macro. Failed. Failures. Should not yet have the test site. Oh, this is always returning true. Okay, so now we need to do our lookup. Return self.hashes. So we need to hash the bytes that come in. Base domain to check. And then we check our hash map or a hash set has, or what's hasher? Oh, build hasher. Okay. Is in get extract if clear contains. And so maybe I should call this contains instead. Contains bytes. And no semicolon, because that's the return value. Could not compile. The trait into is not implemented for generic array. Required here when we finalize the hasher. Mute hasher. How come one succeeds but one does not? Why does one succeed but one does not? This succeeds. This does not. Why? As soon as I do this, let bytes. Type must be known at this point. Okay, well, what I want is a digest. Oh, finalize in hasher.finalize. Oh boy. Okay. Digest. And then I want to deref. Maybe that's what I want instead. Deref. There is a method deref mute. What is hasher.finalize giving us? Hasher MD5. Hasher is MD5. MD5. Is that the same thing as MD-5? Or MD-5 Rust. Great. Is this the same documentation? It's different. Okay, that's what's up. Okay. Process the input message. And you finalize it. Acquire the hash digest in the form of generic array, which is equivalent to U816. Right, that's what I want. So MD5 let mute hasher is new. Hasher update, pass in some binary. Result, finalize. I don't need to dereference it. And then I insert it into my hash set, which is a U816. And it's only over here where I'm getting the bytes out that it's very upset. Oh, expected U816 found generic array in 4028. Okay, now I'm glad that it's complaining now. I didn't know why it wasn't complaining before, but acquire the hash digest in the form of generic array, which is equivalent to U816. Equivalent my butt. Unless I say bytes U816. Can I do that? Found generic array. Use into. Okay, so maybe I had it right. Okay, so then do I need to do it like this up here? Okay, and then... Okay, now it's upset about that. Contains bytes. So do I have to... It wants a reference. It wants to... Okay. Okay, and now I'll put this in. And it works. Okay, okay. Amazing. Thank you, SmurfD, for handling the spam. Do we need to add the capability of removing? What does the test do? It sets it up. Does not filter non-adult URLs. Test filters out adult URLs. I guess we will. This part we might not need to test here, because we are basically testing it in Rust. Does not filter adult URLs when prefed off. That's something we do want to check. Returns false for unexpected URLs. Returns false for non-adult URLs. Returns true for adult URLs. That's very similar. Oh, that's for filtering and then checking. Remove domain from list. Test is adult URL. Returns false when prefed off. Remove from adult list. Okay, yeah, I really don't think so. A bunch of these can be, I think, moved to the Rust component, particularly the is adult URL. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start porting these over. Test function test contains returns false for unexpected URLs. It feels weird to have to do expect on construct. What does the example do for this? Inner example new. It does a question mark. Okay. I see. Okay. That's fine. So maybe I can do the question mark here myself. Except that this doesn't have an error type. Okay. Could construct, and then returns false for unexpected URLs. What does that look like? We're gonna supply the empty string. Should not recognize not invalid URLs. Good. And should return false for non-adult sites. Contains returns false for non-adult URLs. And we're going to use basically just do this. Should not recognize. Should not. Okay, easy peasy. Next, returns true for adult URLs. So that's basically what this is. We don't need to clean up because we're constructing a new one each time. Returns false when prefed off. That I think we do want to keep that, like prefs have no meaning inside of Rust components. So we will need to keep this test here. Add and remove from adult list. I don't think we need to actually test that. Because add domain to list is purely for testing, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's just for testing. So that's it for our tests. Should I have the test site? Okay. So that's it. And now we expose our stuff with Unify. So you do that by exporting a component like this. Pub struct filter adult component and filter adult inner will be the inner, and then impl filter adult component, and then what do we do? You have the constructor. Construct a new filter adult component, handle path error, okay, self, new, no arguments. And then what's the other one? There's really just contains. We only want to expose contains. Check if a URL is in the adult domain list. Contains, and then stir returns API result bool. Self contains, we're going to say base domain to check. Right? What do you think of that? Okay, explosion. Cannot find handle error. Is that a thing? This error? Do I need this error? Handle error is from error support. Expected result error found bool. Error is no real error API. Expected result error found bool contains, or I could wrap it in okay, because it should always complete the lookup. Yeah. Okay, so we've got our Unify stuff building. And now, how about that thing which was like filter? Pub function filter. And it's going to take, in Rust terms, what is that? Unify. A vec. Okay. So we'll take a vector of like link objects is what that's not what we call them. Filter adult takes links. Filter. It's not a string, gang. You'd think it'd be a string, but it's not. Maybe if we just accept an array. Yeah, let's just accept an array of strings. I think that's fine. Filter. Like, we'll have to do some processing in here where we like pluck the URL out, which I think there's a way of doing that, where you can just like map and then filter. So filter will take a Rust vector parameter. And it doesn't need to be mutable. Just vec. Of strings? Vector of strings. Where is it? I was just looking at this. Vector of strings. So maybe I have to do like vec string. Base domains to check. Can I do like vec slice of string? Is that vec stir? Yeah, you can do that. Vec stir, and it will return a new vector of new strings. Oh boy. Which we might actually want a string. Right? Because like we are creating new ones as opposed to just reading ones in that were passed to us. Okay, well, for base domain in base domains to check, So I need a, how do I map Rust map vector? Map does not apply to a vector. Map creates a new vector based on the elements in the vector trap. Map docs here. Iter map. Don't do this. Instead, use this. Takes a closure, creates an iterator which calls the closure on each element. And then what happens with the result value? Do we have anything like git grab? Dot map. Vector into iter map and then collect. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Okay, so vec string equals base domains to check into iter map. Here's our base domain self dot contains base domain to check. Is that going to compile? Is that valid Rust? No. Expect. Oh, collect. Return vals. I guess I could just do this. Map. Wait, what does map do? Map takes closure, creates an iterator, which calls closure, transforms one iterator into another by means of an argument. Something implements, produces a new iterator which calls this closure on each element. If you are good at thinking types, think of map. If you have an iterator that gives you elements of some type A, you want an iterator of some other type B, you can use map passing a closure that takes A and returns a B. Map is best used when you're already working with other iterators. It's not really filtering. Oh, that's different. I want filter, basically. Filter. I want filter. And that just returns an iterator that I'll want to collect. So I want a filter. Filter contains collect. Can I just do that? Expected vec string found. Oh, right. Value of vec string cannot be built from standard iterator. So I get back an iterator from iterator stir is not implemented, but trait from iterator string is implemented for it. Let's call this. Oh no. Oh no. Lifetimes. Oh no. Uh-oh. Rust lifetimes. Shoot. Okay, Rust string filter new vector. How to filter vector of custom structs based on a string field. Borrowing the string as a slice prefix. Filter, 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 collect. cloned. What is cloned? Iter rust cloned. Clones the elements of the underlying iterator. What does collect do? Collect. Do collection. Not quite. Not quite. Oh man, I do not like this. I do not like this, Sam. I am. I'm worried that I'm gonna have to do like lifetime stuff. Why is this so hard? Trait bound clone, not implemented for stir. It's implemented in string. Hang on. Okay, so what are you complaining about? Clone is not implemented for stir. So maybe I should accept a vector of strings instead. And then this we'll need to do that. And it's complaining that, oh, it really wants me to figure this out, eh? Found struct string, called chain of the expected associated types. Expected filter to be an iterator that yields ampersand, but it yields string. Line 62 cloned. Well, do I even need? So that works. Does it? If I now test filtering, test filters, let test sites equal put some adult site in there, https://mozilla.org, https cbc.ca, or example.com. Expected output should be these two. Some adult site 2.com. So we're gonna add, I'm gonna put this up here. So site 2 URL. Site URL, site 2 URL, and then we're going to add domain. Let's just make sure that that passes. No. Cannot be used for global variables because you're static or const. Const, not constlet. Okay. All right. Okay, so now I've added my 2. I'm going to now say let result equal inner.filter, and then I'm going to pass in Test sites. Does that compile? No. Expected vex string found string slice by 4. To string. Isn't this how this works? I don't know what to do now. Filter, so filter, more dead code, filter mismatch types. So I'm passing in, try using a conversion method to vec. Compile. Method not found. No method named 2vec found in reference. Oh, whoops. It's here, that's 2vec. Okay, that works. And now if I do assert, what is it, EQ, result, expected output, is that? No. Left. Oh, the result, it's the exact opposite. So I'm glad I tested that. Filter not contains. Did it. All right. I think that's it, everybody. And so I am going to expose filters. Filter. Base domains to check. We'll take a vex string. Return an API result of vex string. Return self filter base domains to check. All right. Well, gang, I think we've got a component here that kind of works. Maybe next time we can try wiring it into Firefox proper, and then we can start, see what that's like. I don't know. I've tinkered with that a little bit for a separate component. It's a little arduous, but we can try making it work. But I think we've got something that kind of does the job. The other thing we need to do is I wanted to make it easy to add and remove things from the static list. Maybe in the next 4 minutes we'll do that. Hang on. Mod. Do you know what I mean by mod adult set? Use crate, yeah, crate. Oh, wait, what? Use crate, mod. And do I need this part? Let's see. Yeah. No adult set in adult set mod. It's not quite right. What are you complaining about? Could not find adult set in the crate root. Oh, an add domain is never used in filter adult inner. This is purely for testing. So I'm going to put that there. Used purely for testing. And so the deal is wait, I thought I gave it warn dead code. On line 72. Did I? Oh, hang on. It's different. I have to give it something else. Rust, dead, code warning. Not crust. Rust, dead, code warning. Allow dead code. That's what you want. You want to allow it. Okay. And then remove. I can remove the mute on line 90 in this test because I'm not actually changing it. This one I am changing it. Okay. Help convert the identifier to snake case. Convert the identifier to snake case. Test sites. Expected output. Okay. And now, could not find adult set in the crate root. Unresolved import. Crate adult set. What do I have to do about that? How do I expose? Like lib knows how to do it. What does it mean whenever I put that at the top? What does that mean? Whoop, whoop. Where am I? What does it mean? File not found for module adult set. Do I have to go like ... mod? Doesn't know what I mean. Rust mod relative folder. Pub mod logging. Do I have to pub mod adult set? And then do I still need this? A similar path exists, filter adult. There we go. Okay. And now we can start like our utility here for add and remove and overwrite. I can't remember what overwrite's gonna take. Just like a CSV or like a bunch of lines of stuff. Add, remove, overwrite. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll just accept a file that it has domains separated by new lines. That's what we'll do. So it's 2:32. I should probably cap it here. So I will. Let's JJ squash. Incredible. Hey, thank you so much for watching episode 400 of The Joy of Coding. Next week, we're going to try and like ingest that stuff inside of Firefox Desktop. What's to say? How do I close this out? I'm going to play the riff, the outro riff. Just have to. But like, is there anything else I should do while I'm here? Any requests? That's it. Yeah, all right, let's call it there. I'm not gonna do anything special. Thanks so much for watching episode 400 of The Joy of Coding. I'm so happy you've been with me this whole time. If you have, or if you've been joining, that's great. Let's go. Let 500, even better. We'll see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. See ya.